Part 3 of the mind control from the government. I want you guys to watch this last part and just keep in mind all the songs we listen to that they have control over, all the TV shows and movies we watch that they have control over. And people always talking about how they sending us messages through movies and stuff. It's true. All of it is true. They sending us messages, but they also putting subliminals in there. So if you ever watch music videos and you saw weird shit in the back, devil worshiping shit in the back, whatever, those are subliminals. Your subconscious mind picks all of that up. That's why when a person hypnotizes you, you can remember license plates and hone in on stuff that you didn't even know you saw. So keep that in mind while watching this last part. Please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe if you can. And one more thing, if you saw video 1, you noticed that Bill Clinton, our ex-president, admitted they did this to us. He apologized for them doing this to us. So this is a fact.
Drug wars is nothing more than the CIA taking over the industry worldwide. Gary Webb was trying to report on it, and he was killed. So many on the front lines were being killed.
Only a few major corporations control an estimated 90% of all the news stations, television, movies, music, video games, social media, and the internet.
Social media and other internet platforms make their money by keeping users engaged, and so they've hired the greatest engineering and tech minds to get users to stay longer inside of their apps and on their websites.
Mass media has conditioned individuals using methods such as neuro-linguistic programming, occult symbolism, and harmonics.
They were enhancing the harmonics in the music to actually affect the neuron pathways in the brain in directions that they wanted, and then using specific lyrics to drive in a message. We need to be so mindful of the lyrics that are being carried on those harmonics into our mind and become aware of how much that kind of thing does affect us.
All the good girls go to hell.
Harmonics were added to their music to make them even more popular. These little children who had been horribly abused were programmed and harmonically tuned, and then the messages were programmed in, which would deliberately affect the social engineering of a generation or however many people they could affect.
Through continued secret human experimentation, scientists learned that repeated traumas coerce the function of the amygdala and the hippocampus to repress the dissociated memory. In order to continue functioning, the memory of the traumatic experience is sectioned off and encased by amnesic walls, creating an altar hidden from the main identity in the subconscious. While the barrier is down, handlers and programmers installed everything from secret messages to deliver, instructions for illegal activities, or programs for sexual perversions. The various levels of programs were named after the different brain waves to denote function. The amnesic barrier is then rebuilt to hide the identity of the abuser and memory of the programming, using trauma conducted through repetitive brutality, electric shock, and weaponized sound waves, known as harmonics. Due to the electrical nature of the brain, high-voltage electric shock devices such as cattle prods are commonly used and are extremely effective in cementing dissociation after torture. By developing the experiments, it was discovered that the effects that harmonics have on the RNA covering of neuropathways is highly effective in creating undetected mind control. Through trial and error, at the expense of unknowing human subjects, success was finally achieved. The experiments proved that certain inaudible sound waves will electronically encode messages into victims, making direct physical abuse no longer necessary for mind control programming. Since the inception of these experiments, what was learned has been implemented through the use of sophisticated equipment. The advancements made have offered the ability to track states of consciousness and alter it electronically and remotely, allowing for silent mind control to take place on a mass scale and go completely undetected.
I know that there are harmonic tuning places involved in NASA and at DARPA. The different places that were involved in MK Ultra, one was Disney, and I was taken to Disney World in Florida. They have very sophisticated setup in the underground or the underworld of Disney World, where mind control programming occurs.
Walt Disney's stories were intentionally crafted using his thorough understanding of occultism as he climbed the ranks of Masonry and made connections which laid the foundations of the Disney Empire. Through relations to CIA operatives Paul Helliwell and Wild Bill Donovan, Disney was able to secure land in Florida for a fraction of the valued price. Disneyland opened during the same year that Project Paperclip scientist Werner von Braun worked as a technical director on Disney TV shows about space. Von Braun later became an expert on Walt Disney's Tomorrowland, an area of the park showcasing impressive futuristic structures. Located underneath the surface are tunnels or utility corridors, which can be accessed through certain unmarked doors located in various shops, restaurants, and attractions. It is in these utility corridors where child pornography, child trafficking, and mind control programming are allegedly taking place. Transcripts document the close relationship between Walt Disney and FBI Director Edgar Hoover as they correspond about how to bring the FBI's influence into children's TV shows such as the Mickey Mouse Club. These child stars, as well as the children viewing these programs, have been groomed and desensitized by sexual behavior. The correlation between Disney child stars and drug addiction, crime, mental breakdowns, and dissociative behavior are merely products of the victimization they endured while being subject to Hollywood's elite producers and handlers.
And I want you to remember and keep in mind, presidents admitted that they did this to us. They admitted it. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Now that's crazy.